Another day and another Digital Foundry analysis comparing the PlayStation 5 to the Xbox Series X and S. So Digital Foundry has done another analysis comparing the Xbox Series X and S to the PlayStation 5 when playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And before we jump into this any further, if you guys are new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. My goal for this channel really is just to grow an awesome community where we can have cool conversations about what's going on in the video game industry, what's going on with Xbox and the PlayStation 5, and just have a lot of fun in the comments below. But let's continue with this. So games from Ubisoft has been one of the companies that really have been upgrading a lot of their games to get that next generation patch to run at 60 frames per second at a higher resolution. We've seen Immortals Phoenix Rising, we've seen The Division 2, we've seen Assassin's Creed Valhalla get a patch. So all in all, I mean, they're doing a lot of work, which is great for us in getting those games up to work on the next gen hardware. The most recent one before Ghost Recon Breakpoint that they did take a look at was The Division 2, and that was a clear difference between the PlayStation 5 version and the Xbox Series X and even the Xbox Series S version, where the PlayStation 5 version was missing a lot of graphical elements. And there's a patch now that has solved those issues for the PlayStation 5 version, where now it seems like with the patch 1.31, screen space reflection, the volumetric fog is back into the Division 2 on the PlayStation 5. However, there is still the resolution difference between the Xbox Series X and the PS5 version, where both games are running at 60 frames per second with all of those features. However, the PlayStation 5 version generally runs at a lower resolution. And now we look at this next game that got the comparison, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and it looks like, again, the Xbox Series X has the advantage. We'll just go to this tweet here because it really sums it up pretty well. So Xbox Series X dynamic 4K 2160p 30 FPS, PlayStation 5 dynamic 1440p 30 FPS, and this is in resolution mode. Performance mode, Xbox Series X 1440p 60 FPS, PS5 1080p 60 FPS, and then finally the Xbox Series S is in 1440p 30 FPS. So that's pretty crazy. Out of all of this, the Xbox Series S is running at the same resolution and frame rate as the PS5 in resolution mode. Now, there's a couple of things here. Like I've said in previous videos, it's obvious the Xbox Series X is a more powerful console just by looking at the spec sheets provided to us by the companies as to what's inside the console and not going off any other random made up speculation about what these consoles can do and all that stuff. Anyways, the fact is here that it does seem like the Xbox Series X, its power is shining through initially, especially with backwards compatibility. And the backwards compatibility mode within the Xbox is clearly at an advantage over the PlayStation 5 because both of these games are running in their backwards compatible mode. So you have it running on the PS4 Pro mode, I believe, for the PlayStation 5, and then the Xbox One X mode, I believe, for the Xbox Series X and S. Now, I don't know if this is something that is going to be patched out in the fact that the PlayStation 5 is going to get a resolution bump in the resolution mode for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We'll have to wait and see if that happens, if this is just another patch thing that has to come in like they happened with the Division 2. However, I don't think there's any real significant graphical elements missing. It is literally just the resolution that is lower on the resolution mode. So does this matter? Honestly, it doesn't matter in terms of like saying one console is better than the other, but I've said this in previous videos and I'm going to stand by this. If you're somebody looking for the most powerful console, the Xbox Series X is the most powerful console, and it's going to continue to show its power throughout this generation. And I think for multi-platform games, we're going to continue to see this story trend where we'll see games have a higher resolution on the Xbox Series X compared to the PlayStation 5 when you're playing in that resolution mode. One of the things that has me the most impressed here is the Xbox Series S, with the fact that it is running at 1440p 30 frames per second, which is on par with the PlayStation 5's resolution mode, which, I mean, doesn't make any sense because obviously the Xbox Series S is less powerful than the PlayStation 5. But what it really does show is how great the backwards compatibility is on the Xbox consoles. And for somebody like me who loves backwards compatibility and always goes through and plays older games, like I just ran through Fable 2, it's a great thing to see and a great thing to have. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think the Xbox Series X is going to continue to show its power advantage going throughout this generation? This is one of those videos, again, whenever Digital Foundry puts out these comparison videos, it's when you get your popcorn ready, you go through the comments and you just look at all the hilarity of the PlayStation fanboys and the Xbox fanboys going back and forth, fighting over which one's better and which one is worse. I mean, at the end of the day, where you play doesn't matter. You just need to have fun. I just like talking about the facts of what they talk about when they do these comparisons. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you are new here and you liked what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can just continue to have awesome conversations about video games, about what's going on in the industry, because I think it's going to be a really fun generation and I will love for you guys to come along for the ride. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support and I'll catch you in the next video.